Hey guys, welcome, welcome. I think we got both Zoom and we've got Facebook Live over here. So welcome, it's Jennifer Gilman, and I'm a Diamond Wellness Advocate with doTERRA and part of your team leadership here with Sharon Build. Hey Emma, great to see you. So I'm on Facebook Live, so sometimes I'm looking over here and sometimes looking over here because of Zoom. But today we're going to spend 20 minutes together, just 20 minutes. And we're going to talk about releasing overwhelm and doubt. So, hey, Natalia, great to see you. Hi, Joan. Everybody's jumping on now. So again, I'll reintroduce myself, Jennifer Gilman, and I'm one of your team leaders and Diamond Wellness Advocate with doTERRA. We're going to really focus on just releasing overwhelm and doubt. But before we get to that, I've got just two things to cover. All right, one of the things is, we're having this weekly IPA challenge, okay? What the heck is IPA? IPA is income producing activities. So this is what's really going to help you be successful with your doTERRA business. But sometimes when we get started, we don't even know what is that? Like, what am I supposed to do to make money? What are those activities? So we thought we would do a weekly IPA challenge to just kind of teach you little by little nuggets, give you a challenge of one of those income producing activities to do. And then at the end of the week, after you log in, if you did the challenge, you get a chance to win a free oil. All right. So last week's challenge was to share your story, your lifelong vitality story with 3 people, and many of you did it. So I have this little bag here. I usually use the randomizer app, but I thought it would be fun to actually put your names in this bag. So all of you who did this, your names are in this bag, okay? And whoever wins, whoever's name I pick out is going to win coriander, all right? I picked a different oil this time because sometimes we don't have this one, right? And coriander, I want to tell you about it really quick, all right? The emotional benefits, this oil is the oil of integrity, and I love that. So coriander is the oil of integrity, specifically integrity with oneself. The person in need of coriander oil may be trapped in a cycle of serving others while neglecting their own needs. I think I need to use more coriander, guys. Hey, Julie, great to see you. And where am I getting this information? It's from the Emotions and Essential Oils book. This is the newest edition, and I love it because it can go tell you all about emotional aspects of that oil. But I got a new book while at leadership, and this is it's a new one that came out. I really like it because it actually has protocols in here. It gives you protocols for different health concerns and spelling them out and exactly what to do with things. So I like this. I was looking through it yesterday, and I'm really liking it. So the top uses of coriander, according to this book, and what I know about it is great for regulating high blood sugar level. Food poisoning is not something that's not brought up a lot, but this would be great for food poisoning and overcoming that. Body odor, so this is a great oil for deodorant, for your homemade deodorants. Cartilage injury, rashes, muscle aches, and cooking. So those are just a few top uses of coriander, and you're like, come on, Jen, just pick the person. All right, I'm digging in my bag here, you guys. Who is it gonna be? I'm gonna mix them up. All right. It is Chrissy Carbonero. Chrissy, congratulations. You have got yourself coriander. So Chrissy, actually, I think the next time I'm going to see you is at the Healthy Habits Tour in Orlando. If I see you sooner, then you'll be able to get that. But Chrissy won the oil. So congratulations. I did post the weekly IPA challenge for this week, so make sure you take a look at that in our Share and Build business group, okay? The other thing I want to mention real quick is something that just came up that Elaine Huppridge told me about, and that is a training that is free on April 1st, which is next Monday, and it happens to be at our weekly Skill Up time, so we are going to totally take advantage of that, right? We always have the weekly Skill Up, but if we can randomly get, a presidential diamond speaking because they happen to be speaking then, that's great. So Neil Anderson, who I believe he's either Blue Diamond or Presidential Diamond from North Carolina, is actually going to be teaching about the new sales guide. So the new sales guide is a tool that was rolled out at leadership. You can purchase this in your back office. All right, and this is a great tool. I want to give you a little snippet about it, but you can register for this free event that Neil Anderson is teaching for next Monday. Make sure you register because only the first 1,000 people are going to get in, okay? So just register for the event and you'll be all set. But this sales guide, you are probably familiar with a lot of the empowerment success guides, and it leads you through. Well, there was kind of one thing missing on really how do we launch brand new people. So that's what this is focusing on. So I have a little quick reference guide. I'm going to read some of this cheat sheet for you. So again, you can get an idea of what is this new sales guide all about? What are you going to learn next week? And there's videos attached to it. So you can actually find the guide in doTERRA.com. Hey, Corey, great to see you. Hey, Lauren. So you can actually find the sales guide on doTERRA.com, and they've already provided videos so that you can do a self-paced learning if you want of how to actually use this guide. But again, Neil Anderson's going to do this next Monday, so I'm just going to jump on and hear from Neil. So one of the things it talks about is the fundamentals of success, and right off the bat, it's telling us that we need a good mindset, the way we think. We need a skill set, the actions we take, and then a tool set, which are the systems we use. We want systems that are going to work for us and not manage us, but that actually help us manage our business. And that's empowered success and the sales guide, right? So those are the three. It has a little triangle there. Those are the three things. And I'm so glad they did that because I'm a firm believer in it's not just the skill set and the tool set, but your mindset too. So it right away jumps into the fact identifying these are the three pillars here. Then it talks about key habits for mindset, for skill set, and your tool set. And then it goes through the rest of the booklet, very detailed, goes through these 9 steps. Okay, I'm going to read the category of the steps again, just to give you kind of get your feet wet of what is this new sales guide all about. So it talks about how you connect with people and being authentic, and there's a whole section on that. Then how do we invite? How do we reach out to invite people and talk to them? Then step 3 is introducing the oils. How do we start to introduce and talk about them? Step 4 is educating. Step 5 is closing the sale. A whole section on how do we close and the psychology of that, the words we use, our body posture, our tone of voice, the questions we ask them. Step 6 is how do we enroll them? Step 7, answering objections. And that's something that I feel has been missing a lot in the past is we don't talk about it enough of what do we say when somebody says this? We want to get ideas of how to respond, but it's hard to come up with that on our own, right? So having ways to respond to objections, and I'm telling you, they're always the same common objections. So I could, script probably 10 of them, and it's probably going to come up over and over again with randomly a different one here and there. So I love that this guide is addressing that. Step 8 is gathering referrals. How do we get referrals from people? There's lots of different ways. And the way, I'll say, individually, the way I'm getting business now is very different than it was 5 years ago. Everything changes, the social environment changes and the way people learn. So we just have to keep evolving. And so getting referrals, how are we getting those, is going to change, but it comes down to the relationship and you asking for them, right? So it's got a whole section on that. And the final step is following up. And it has it basically in a wheel, like you just keep going over and over around the wheel and duplicate it. So that's what this sales guide is about. You can download it online for free, or you can purchase it and put it on your next order. But I encourage you guys to go ahead and register for that. So let's dive into the topic. So this was something I really tackled with Deb Erickson, because overwhelm is something that is something I deal with all the time. I put so much on my plate, so I'm always overwhelmed. And Elaine Huppert was telling me the other day, I think she saw a post from Lois Lane that the 2 oils for overwhelm and doubt would be balance, no surprise, right? So we've got our balance oil, and I did put that on. We've got balance, but she pairs it up with green mandarin. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So topically and aromatically, you can use balance and green mandarin for overwhelm, all right? So, and Deb Erickson, through her coaching, she uses essential oils as well. So I did put that on. I put the back of my neck, and it took a few minutes to kind of smell that in. And I love those. But what is overwhelm? What is that feeling actually? We've all felt it, but can we name it? It takes us into a panic. It puts us into that state of overwhelm. And then of course, doubt is right behind there, right? It's just like right there, doubt yourself. You can't do it. You're not enough. You are not worthy. And that's just not a good feeling. We want to get through that. So doubt and overwhelm is kind of a trick the brain uses to hold us in our comfort zone. That's what it's doing. And we don't want that to win. We don't want the brain to win in that aspect. It's trying to keep us in the comfort zone. We might get to the edge of it, and then it tries to pull us back in by saying, you're going to be overwhelmed. I'm going to put doubt inside of you. So think of it as like that. It's not a good thing, obviously, but the brain is trying to trick us to stay inside the box, and we're not going to. We're going to plow through it. So one of the first steps is to stop talking about it. When you put words out there of I'm overwhelmed, I have too much on my plate, I've got this going on, I've got that going on, you're telling yourself you're overwhelmed. So of course, what's going to happen? Wherever you focus is where the energy goes. So you focus on something, absolutely more energy is going to go there. So number one, just stop putting it into words. Stop putting those words out there. And that's so hard. So some of the tricks that I use to stop putting those things into words is I put Post-it notes around my house. Some of you probably have seen these Post-it notes in my house. And if I'm trying to maybe change some language, like I should do this or I need to do this, I instead put on that Post-it what I want to say. I want to do this. I would like to do this. I choose to do this. So that was some language I was switching around a while back, probably a year and a half ago, and I had Post-its around my house. And so that's just a little trick. So not only identifying, yes, there's overwhelm and there's doubt, but how do we get ourselves out of this cycle, all right? So hopefully those Post-it notes will help you as well. But recognizing when we put words to it, unfortunately, you just put a ton of energy behind it. That's what's gonna happen. You put so much energy. Overwhelm obviously disables you, so you can't push through it, or it seems as though you cannot push through it, but you can. So I'm going to give you a trick from Deb Erickson now of how to actually realize it's present and name it. Name it as fog, okay? So when you have overwhelm or doubt, you're going to name it and recognize it, and you're like, this is fog. It's fog, it's present, I know it's here. So if we name it, we can tame it, right? So we know what it is, but we can tame it. So here's a little exercise. You can take a deep breath in, and you see the fog before you. And then you're gonna slowly blow out with your lips pursed, and you're just gonna blow that fog away. So you breathe in. You do it 2 more times. Breathe in. And 1 more time. Breathe in. Why the 3 times? The first time totally doesn't work, you guys. You need to do it 3 times. You got to do it 3 times. You begin to maybe feel like the inkling of that, the overwhelm going away, but you got to do it 3 times. So you're naming it as fog and you're blowing it away. Now, that's not the end though. That's not the end of it. You can't just blow it away and assume it's gone. You have to now identify that it was present, okay? And you're going to ask this question. What's the one action I need to take towards relieving the overwhelm? Okay, so as soon as you're done blowing away the fog 3 times, you're going to ask that one question. What is the one action I need to take towards relieving the overwhelm? Okay, and then what do you think the last thing is? Do it. Take the action. So I really liked how she rolled this out, because I'm like, all right, I'm identifying and I'm blowing it away. But really a lot of the rest of the keys is what is the one action? Because if I think of 3 actions, I'm back in overwhelm again. So what's the one thing I can do to take action right now and then do it? And you know what? Sometimes that one action is actually leaving your desk and getting up and going into a different environment, or going for a walk, or going to have a cup of coffee, or calling a friend. It doesn't mean it has to be an IPA, income producing activity. So that's not what I'm talking about. it might be, I don't know, it's up to you, but what is that one action you're going to take after you blow the fog away? All right. So I'm hoping this helped you guys. I do want to give you a little bit of homework on this, is to identify, think about what actually puts you in overwhelm normally. What is that one thing? You know, what could, and it might be there, it might be all sorts of things. All right. Hey, Mindy, great to see you. So identify what puts you in overwhelm, and then I want you to practice this blowing the fog away, of realizing what it is, blow the fog away 3 times, and think about one action you can take and then actually do it. Practice this over the next week, because overwhelm and doubt cripples us, and it just doesn't feel good. And I can speak from my own self, is that I put all this stuff on my schedule and I get overwhelmed, and I'm like, wait a minute, I love what I'm doing, so why am I feeling overwhelmed? So I have to put it in perspective and blow the fog away and just think about, all right, just move on, right? So, hey, Rena, great to see you. So that's your homework, and I hope this helped with just some simple things about what is that overwhelm and doubt, and what might you be able to do yourself starting now. So, all right, guys, thanks for tonight. And remember, next week, just go ahead and sign up for that Neil Anderson event. It's April 1st, and that's next week already. It's already next week. I can't believe it. It's the end of the month. And that 200 PV, I mean, more deep blue, the new products came out. So make sure you're following, different things on Everyday Essentials and Share and Build, and hopefully you're enjoying that. So hopefully this was helpful, you guys. Love you. Mwah.
Hey, Jen, do you have that link for that?
For the Neil Anderson?
Yes.
Yep, I'll tag you in it on Share and Build.
Okay, thank you.
I'll do that now. Bye.